Chapter 1. Where are Tutankhamun's treasures? August the 4th, 1922. The Valley of the Kings. Here I am at last, in the Valley of the Kings. It's a valley in the desert, with lots of sand, and the tombs of dead Egyptian kings in it. It took us a long time to get here, and we all felt very hot when we arrived. But that doesn't matter now. It's good to be here. I'm happy to be working with Mr. Carter. Lots of young men wanted to work with him in the Valley of the Kings, but he took me because of my father. My father and Mr. Carter are good friends. They often meet at the museum in Cairo. My father works there. Also, I'm a good artist. And I know a lot about Tutankhamun, too. Did you know he was a king when he was only 9 years old? But he wasn't king for very long. He died when he was 18. That's only 1 year older than me. Why did he die then? Perhaps we can find the answer when we find his tomb. Mr. Carter thinks it's in the Valley of the Kings. He began looking for it 5 years ago, and he doesn't want to stop. Some people think he's crazy, but I don't. Nearly all the other old Egyptian kings have a tomb here, so why not Tutankhamun? There are about 20 of us, men and boys, working here in the valley. Perhaps I can make friends later, but for now I'm going to write this diary, and my diary can be my friend. There aren't any shops or cinemas here, so I need something to do in the evenings. And perhaps one day people are going to want to read my diary. Why? Well, perhaps we're going to find Tutankhamun's tomb, or a different king's tomb, or some new treasures. Egyptian tombs have lots of treasures in them. You know, gold and jewels. But thieves took treasures from many of the tombs in the past. And there are tomb thieves in Egypt today, too. People come from all over the world to look for gold and jewels. When they find a tomb, they take all the treasure home to their countries. I think that's very bad. I'm happy to say Mr. Carter is not a thief. He says Egyptian treasures must stay in Egypt. I think he's right. But our work's not going to be easy. Mr. Carter has only 1 year now to find Tutankhamun's tomb. He's got a rich friend, Lord Carnarvon, and he gives Mr. Carter money to help with our work. Lord Carnarvon likes Egypt a lot, and he loves old Egyptian treasures. He's got lots of them in his home in England. But after giving Mr. Carter money for 5 years, he must be careful. Not long ago, he called Mr. Carter to England and told him,
"Only 1 more year looking for Tutankhamun, Howard."
Mr. Carter came back to Egypt at once. He brought a little yellow bird with him.
"That bird is going to help us find Tutankhamun's tomb,"
said Karim. He's one of the boys working in the valley with me. How can a little bird help us? I don't know, but it's true we need some help from something or someone. Perhaps you think a year's a long time. It's not when you're looking for a little tomb in a very big valley. Where are all of Tutankhamun's treasures? Mr. Carter thinks he knows, and I think he's right. But let's wait and see. Well, good night, diary. From me, Tariq. August the 25th, 1922. Today, I'm going to tell you something about our days in the desert. We begin work very early every morning when the sun comes up. We dig for 6 hours with not much water to drink. At 12 o'clock, it is very, very hot. So we stop to eat, to drink, and to sleep. After 2 hours, we begin digging again. We stop when it gets dark. My back and my arms always feel bad in the evenings. We're very hungry when the sun goes down, and the nights in the desert are very cold. Everyone is tired, so we don't talk much when we're eating dinner. I don't know what other people think about all day, but I think about Tutankhamun. Mr. Carter says he lived with his brothers and sisters when he was a little boy. Later, he married the beautiful Tutankhamun. Some people say he has no tomb because he died suddenly when he was very young. But tombs were very important in old Egypt, and Mr. Carter thinks Tutankhamun has his tomb somewhere in this valley. But where? It's late now, and the sky is dark. Suddenly I feel cold. Is Tutankhamun's body in a tomb somewhere near us now? Are we going to find it soon? Is Mr. Carter's little yellow bird going to help us or not? Who knows? September the 12th, 1922. Some visitors came to the Valley of the Kings today. People often come here to look at the open tombs. They look at the pictures in the tombs and the bodies of the dead kings. We call them mummies, you know. Today's visitors were artists from France. They said everyone in Europe is interested in Egypt now. They are building new Egyptian cinemas and hotels in the big cities. And shops are selling Egyptian beds, tables, chairs, and pictures too. Artists can make a lot of money with Egyptian things. A young girl with dark hair and a beautiful, strong face walked along the valley behind the other artists. For a minute, she looked at me. Then suddenly, she dropped something in the sand and began to look for it. I went to help her. After a minute, I found it. A gold bracelet with an Egyptian eye on it. I gave it to her, and she smiled.
"Thank you,"
she said.
"My teacher, Mr. Ayrton, gave it to me for my birthday. Isn't it nice? I didn't want to lose it."
She had beautiful dark eyes. I wanted to speak to her, but what could I say? "Excuse me, Anne, you have a beautiful face." Ugh, of course not. I know her name is Anne because an older man called to her,
"Come on, Anne."
"Coming, Mr. Ayrton,"
she said, and she ran after him. In the evening, the French artists left and went back to their hotel in Luxor. Anne smiled at me when she left, but then her teacher, Mr. Ayrton, called her and the smile left her face and she ran after him again. Am I going to see Anne again? I like her a lot, but I don't like her teacher, Mr. Ayrton. He's a lot older than her. Perhaps he's a very good artist, but why must she run to him every time he calls her? She needs to be with young people, not old Mr. Ayrton. It's another beautiful night tonight. Desert nights are wonderful. But again, I feel very cold. I think the dead kings come near us and watch us at night. I can feel their dead eyes looking at us coldly. Some people think they're angry with us for digging here. They say bad things happen to people when they go into Egyptian tombs looking for treasure. But Mr. Carter is okay, and he began digging in Egypt years ago. So perhaps they're wrong. Chapter 2. There's something here. November the 4th, 1922. Something wonderful happened today. We found a step in the sand. It was about 4 p.m. when someone suddenly cried out behind me. It was my friend Kareem.
Tariq, quick! There's something here!
I ran to him and we dug fast. We soon found a step in the sand, and under the first step, we could see a second one. I said, "Stop! We must get Mr. Carter." Someone found Mr. Carter and he ran over to us. When he saw the step, he was very excited and he couldn't speak. We all waited. Then he found his voice.
Dig!
He cried.
Dig, I say!
So we all dug very quickly, and we found 5 more steps before the sun went down. Then we stopped. Now we are all very tired, but very excited. At dinner, there were many questions in all our heads. What are we going to find next? Is there a tomb here? Is it going to be open or closed? Early tomorrow morning, we must dig more. I don't think I'm going to sleep very much tonight. At last, there is something new in the sand. And my friend Kareem found it. November the 6th, 1922. Tonight, I can tell my diary everything. But only my diary. Mr. Carter says we can't tell people about the steps in the sand. He says they're very important. Today, we found 16 steps in the sand. Then, we found a door. And the most important thing? The door wasn't open, but had old Egyptian seals on it. Mr. Carter went down the steps and looked at the seals very carefully for a long time. We all waited in the sand under the hot sun. Down in the dark, looking at that old Egyptian door, Mr. Carter began to laugh.
They're his seals!
He called up to us.
Tutankhamun's seals! I think it's his tomb at last! Well done, everybody!
We all laughed and cried. It was very exciting. But after a time, Mr. Carter said we must all be quiet. He doesn't want newspaper men to hear about this and to come to the Valley of the Kings bringing lots of visitors.
First, I must tell Lord Carnarvon,
said Mr. Carter.
We can't open the door without him. Put all the sand back and say nothing about this.
So we covered the door and all the steps under the sand again. And now we must wait for Lord Carnarvon. It's going to take 2 weeks or more for him to come to Egypt by ship from England. How can we keep quiet for 2 weeks? It's a good thing I'm far from my family. And that beautiful French artist Anne is far away now. I think she would like to hear all about this too. Without them here, there's nobody to talk to. Nobody but you, my diary. November the 12th, 1922. Something very strange happened today. A snake killed Mr. Carter's yellow bird and ate it. Kareem was ill, and his face went white when he heard about it.
The yellow bird helped us to find Tutankhamun's tomb,
he said.
But now Tutankhamun sends this snake to kill the bird because he is angry with us. We must stop digging at once and never, never open the boy king's tomb.
Mr. Carter told Kareem to be quiet and not to say all those crazy things in front of the younger boys.
Listen to me, Kareem,
he said.
Tutankhamun died thousands of years ago. He can't be angry with us. Do you hear?
Who is right about Tutankhamun? Mr. Carter or Kareem? I don't know, but I'm beginning to feel afraid. November the 23rd, 1922. Today, at last, Lord Carnarvon and his daughter Evelyn arrived. Lord Carnarvon doesn't look well. His face is very white and tired. When they arrived, we took the sand off the steps and the door again. Lord Carnarvon and Mr. Carter went down the steps to look at the seals on the door. They were very excited. Lord Carnarvon's daughter stood next to me on the first step, and I heard her say,
"I hope there's something there this time. Oh, Father, you're very tired and ill. I hope this visit doesn't make you feel worse."
She spoke very quietly, but I heard her. Lord Carnarvon and Mr. Carter stayed down looking at the door for a long time. They were very quiet. We went away to have something to eat and drink. When we came back an hour later, they came up the steps to meet us.
Some of the seals on the door are broken,
said Lord Carnarvon.
so we're not the first people to find the door. Perhaps the tomb behind the door has nothing in it.
Nobody spoke. Everybody thought of all the golden treasures we hoped to find there.
But,
Lord Carnarvon continued,
it's a wonderful thing to find a new tomb. We may find pictures on the walls, or mummies, or other beautiful things. Our work is very important. There are stones behind the door, and we must now move away the stones.
So we worked all afternoon. The stones are big and heavy, and I don't know when we're going to finish. Perhaps tomorrow. It is cold again tonight. Are we going to find treasure in Tutankhamun's tomb? Is his angry spirit near us, watching us? I am too tired to think or to write any more now. Good night, diary. Chapter 3. Into the Tomb. November the 26th, 1922. It was late at night. I saw that French artist, Anne, far away in the desert. I felt happy. She came nearer and nearer to me. Now I could see her face, and it was very sad. I wanted to speak to her, to take her in my arms, but she was far, far away from me. Then I saw something moving in the sand next to her feet. It was a head and an arm. At first, I thought it was old Mr. Ayrton, her teacher, but then I saw it was the mummy of an old Egyptian king. Worse than that, it was alive. "Anne!" I cried, and I ran to help her. Then the mummy came out of the sand. It took Anne in its black arms, and down they went into the sand. Anne cried,
Help me, Tariq!
but there was nothing I could do. I woke up in my bed in our camp, feeling cold and afraid. It was only a dream after all. We moved the last big stone at 5 p.m. today, and we saw a second door behind the first. There were seals on this door too, and Mr. Carter said they were Tutankhamun's seals again. But this time, the seals were not broken. I could see Lord Carnarvon and Mr. Carter were happy. But they didn't want to look excited in front of us.
It's late.
They said to us.
Of course, we can't open the tomb without the most important Egyptian people being here.
So there is nothing more you can do today. Go and eat now. We want to look carefully at these seals again.
We walked slowly away, and everyone began talking excitedly.
Tariq,
I heard suddenly.
could you please wait?
It was Mr. Carter's voice. My friends walked on to the camp, and I went back and looked down the steps.
Come down,
said Lord Carnarvon. I went down the steps and stood next to him and Mr. Carter in front of the tomb door.
We're going to make a little hole in this door and look into the tomb,
said Mr. Carter.
We want you to be with us because your father wants to know everything about our work here. You can draw pictures of everything. Do you understand?
Of course, I said yes. They made a little hole in the door. Carter looked through it with one eye. Lord Carnarvon and I waited. Carter said nothing.
What can you see?
Asked Lord Carnarvon at last.
Wonderful things,
answered Mr. Carter slowly. Then Lord Carnarvon and I looked. We saw gold and jewels and treasure everywhere behind the door. I can see golden animals and chairs and... Shh, said Mr. Carter.
More quietly, please, Tariq. We don't want everyone to hear.
Tomorrow, we must cover the doors and the steps with sand again,
said Lord Carnarvon.
But tonight...
He stopped speaking. He and Mr. Carter looked at me. I looked from Lord Carnarvon to Mr. Carter. Can we go into the tomb tonight? I asked. To have a look.
What do you want to do?
Asked Lord Carnarvon.
I think your father would like you to come with us.
I didn't take long to answer. I'm coming, I said. We're going into the tomb at midnight with lights. We must wait for some hours. When everyone in the camp is sleeping, we can go. November the 27th, 1922. It took us 2 hours to make a hole in the door. We worked very quietly, so we couldn't finish by midnight. At 2 a.m., we were ready. Lord Carnarvon went first, and then Mr. Carter. I went in last, after Lord Carnarvon's daughter. The long room was hot, and our lights nearly went out when the air in the tomb moved for the first time in 3,000 years. Slowly, we began to see strange animals and golden statues and chairs. We looked at everything without speaking. All those beautiful things. I saw a little statue of an Egyptian girl, and I remembered the face on it. But from where? Suddenly, I knew. It was Anne's face. I remembered my dream. There was something strange happening here. Something between Tutankhamun, Anne, and me.
Look at the two black statues in front of us,
said Mr. Carter.
I think they're statues of Tutankhamun. Between them, there's a new door. Who wants to go through it with me?
Lord Carnarvon wanted to go with him, but his daughter and I were afraid. I felt the spirit of Tutankhamun was in the long, hot, dark room with us, and I wanted to get out into the cold night air.
It's all right,
said Mr. Carter.
You two can wait for us outside. But we need your help to make a hole in this new door. It won't take long.
So we helped them. After they went through the door, we left the tomb. The stars looked down at us, and it was very cold. At last, the other two came through the door near us. We worked to close the hole carefully. What did you see in the second room? We asked.
A golden wall,
they answered.
The body of Tutankhamun is somewhere behind that.
This is a wonderful day for all of us.
By then, it was early morning, and I went back to my tent and slept all day. Now it's evening again, and I'm afraid. But who can I talk to about my feelings? Chapter 4. Every day we find new things. December the 22nd, 1922. Today, a month after my night visit to the tomb, we opened the tomb door again, this time in front of everybody. Many important Egyptians came to the Valley of the Kings, with lots of newspaper men and interested people from all over the world. Many people talked to us, but I said nothing about the golden treasures in the tomb. Only my father knows about them. When we opened the door in the sunlight, everybody could see the gold and the treasures. First, Mr. Carter is going to photograph everything we find in the tomb. After the photographs, we can move things and look at them carefully. Then we must write all about each treasure in a book. After that, we must send them to the museum in Cairo. This work is going to take a long time, but we must be very careful when we move things. Mr. Carter picked up a shoe in the tomb today, and it broke into little pieces in his hands. January the 2nd, 1923. Every day we find new things in the first room in the tomb. Today we found some pens and some old Egyptian games. Mr. Carter says the ancient Egyptians loved playing games. He says Tutankhamun was happy when he was a little boy. Most of the time, he played with his brothers and sisters in the palace gardens. He didn't go to school because he had a teacher in the palace. He couldn't go out of the palace very often because the Egyptian people thought he was a god. They thought all ancient Egyptian kings and their families were gods. Near the games, we found a beautiful golden chair, and there were also many different things to wear. Mr. Carter says it took more than 3,000 hours to make only one of his shirts. Sometimes, when I look at Tutankhamun's things, I feel he's near me. But he died when he was 1 year older than me. Why? I want to know the answer to that question more than anything. February the 18th, 1923. Today, at last, we opened the second room in the tomb. It took us 7 weeks to take everything out of the first room. All this time, everyone wanted to go through into the second room, but Mr. Carter said,
"No, we must take all the things out of the first room, slowly and carefully, before we do that."
I know it was difficult for him too, because he knew the second room was the burial room. Lots of people were here again today for the opening of the burial room. It was very hot in the tomb. Mr. Carter opened the door between the 2 black statues, and he went in first. When he was in the second room, he could see all of the golden wall.
"But it isn't a wall,"
he called out to us.
"It's one side of a tall golden shrine."
The shrine nearly filled the second room. It was very difficult to move around the shrine because there were treasures on every side of it. On the far side of the burial room is an open door and a third room. This room also has lots of treasures in it. After a short time, Mr. Carter asked all our visitors to leave. He said,
"We can't open the shrine now because it has lots of treasures around it, and we must look at all of them first."
The newspaper men took lots of photos of the shrine and of the treasures, and then they left. The walls of the burial room are covered with pictures. There are many pictures of Tutankhamun with a young woman. Mr. Carter says she is his queen, She has a strong, dark face. It makes me think of Anne, the French artist from my dream. In some of the pictures, Tutankhamun is giving Tutankhamun flowers, and he is smiling at her. They look very happy. Mr. Carter thinks they were very happy when they married. Am I going to be happy when I marry? I'd like to marry Anne. But where is she now? Back in France? Or here in Egypt, in a museum somewhere, looking at ancient Egyptian jewels and statues? After Tutankhamun died, Mr. Carter says the next king of Egypt was Lord I, a man 20 years older than Tutankhamun. When Mr. Carter told me about this, I remembered my bad dream of Anne and the old Egyptian mummy in the sands of the desert. And I remembered the time when her eye bracelet fell in the sand. After work today, I slept and had another dream. This time, I saw Anne wearing a white Egyptian dress. She had Egyptian jewels in her hair and Egyptian bracelets on her arms. We were in a room in an old Egyptian palace. I lay with my eyes open on an old Egyptian bed, and she sat next to the bed on an old Egyptian chair.
Tutankhamun,
she said, holding my hand.
Lord I is watching me all the time now, and I am afraid.
I wanted to say, my name's Tariq, but I couldn't speak.
What is going to happen to me when you die?
She asked. Again, I could say nothing.
First our 2 children, and now you. People say Lord I killed them. And they say he's killing you too, with poison, because he wants to marry me and be king of Egypt.
Suddenly, a man came quietly into the room behind her. He wore a white, ancient Egyptian skirt, but he had the face of Anne's teacher, Mr. Ayrton. I wanted to tell Anne to look behind her, but I couldn't open my mouth. The man came to her and put his hand on her arm.
Tutankhamun,
He said, smiling coldly.
Forget Tutankhamun. He is dying. You must take a new husband now. Are you ready to be my wife?
I woke up suddenly, crying, Anne, no! Don't do it! Kareem sleeps in the tent next to me, and he woke up when he heard my voice.
What's the matter, Tariq?
He said.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Are you crazy?
Am I crazy? Why am I having these dreams? I don't understand them. Are they telling me to stop working for Mr. Carter and to leave the Valley of the Kings? Chapter 5. Tutankhamun's mummy is killing people. March the 15th, 1923. we had some bad news today. Lord Carnarvon is very ill. Mr. Carter says it's because of the poison from a bad mosquito bite. Mosquitoes can be dangerous in Egypt. Some people are saying that he's ill because the spirit of Tutankhamun is angry. In the newspapers, a woman called Maria Corelli says that he's going to die because Tutankhamun is angry. Some people say that all of us here are going to die soon because we opened the tomb. So nobody is sleeping easily in their tents tonight. We're all thinking about the spirit of Tutankhamun. Is he angry with us? And why am I dreaming about that French girl, the artist, Anne? Where is she now? I'm sure we're going to meet again. But where? April the 6th, 1923. Lord Carnarvon is dead. I am sorry because I liked him and his daughter, Evelyn. The newspapers say that all the lights in Cairo went out when he died. The city was dark for many hours. Mr. Carter told us that Lord Carnarvon's dog died in England on that night too. Mr. Carter only laughs at the things in the newspapers. He's not afraid of anything. But he's sorry too. Lord Carnarvon was a good friend. May the 29th, 1923. People are talking about Lord Carnarvon dying. They are saying that we were wrong to go into a dead man's tomb. But Mr. Carter doesn't listen to anybody. He wants to open the shrine in the burial room soon and find the body of Tutankhamun. It's going to take us all summer to finish our work on the things in the burial room and the treasure room. But what happens then? Are we all going to die after finding the body of the boy king? October the 3rd, 1923. A week ago, we sent the last treasure from the first room to the museum. My father has everything now. In his last letter, he told me they are looking for more workers at the museum in Cairo. My father has a lot of work to do there now because the museum has lots of visitors every week. Everyone wants to see Tutankhamun's beautiful things. Mr. Carter thinks we can open the shrine sometime in the winter, perhaps in December. December the 12th, 1923. Today, we opened the shrine. In it, there was a second golden shrine. We must open this very carefully. January the 20th, 1924. There are 3 golden shrines. After opening all 3 of them, we found a stone sarcophagus. How much more must we open before we find Tutankhamun? November the 12th, 1924. When we opened the sarcophagus, we found a golden coffin with 2 more golden coffins inside it. On each, we saw a beautiful golden face, the face of Tutankhamun. I know his face well now from all the pictures on the walls of the tomb. On the last coffin, his head is blue and gold, and he has a golden snake and a bird's head over his big, dark eyes. These mean he was king of the north and the south of Egypt, Mr. Carter says. Today, at last, we found the mummy of Tutankhamun. It is only a young boy's body inside all that gold and treasure. Around the mummy were 143 jewels of all colours: red, green, white, and blue. There were also some blue flowers. I'm sure his beautiful queen, Tutankhamun, put them there. When we found the body, there were lots of people in the room, and it was very hot. But I felt cold and afraid. Mr. Carter was very excited, but I could only hear a little voice in my head. The voice said to me it was wrong to be there. I left the tomb and ran outside into the warm sun. But I felt cold out there too. In the evening, Mr. Carter came to my tent.
"Why did you suddenly leave us, Tarek?"
he asked. I told him that I felt afraid of Tutankhamun's spirit.
"You're tired,"
he said.
"You need a holiday. Why don't you visit your father for 1 or 2 weeks? I know he'd like to see you. You can help him in the museum."
"Thank you, Mr. Carter," I answered.
"And remember, Tutankhamun died 3,000 years ago. He can't be angry with anybody anymore."
"Perhaps not," I said, but I wasn't sure. So tomorrow morning, I'm going back to Cairo. All my things are ready in my bag, and my diary's coming with me too. I'm going to be far away when the doctor comes to cut up Tutankhamun's body. I don't want to see that. I hope my father understands. I'm looking at the stars now. I must say goodbye to my best friends in the desert. January the 14th, 1925. Cairo. I'm not going back to the camp. My father and I spoke about it today. All over the world, people are saying Tutankhamun's mummy is killing people. And my friend Karim died last week at the camp. How did he die? I don't know, but I know everybody's going to say Tutankhamun's angry spirit killed him. Mr. Carter still isn't afraid, but he's the only one now. My father doesn't believe in the curse of the mummy, but he wants me to stay with him and help him in Cairo in the museum. Last week, Mr. Carter found more coffins and the mummies of 2 little children. He thinks they are Tutankhamun's children. They died before they were born. I feel sorry for the boy king and his beautiful young queen. We're going to look after all his things very carefully here in Cairo. Then perhaps he isn't going to get angry with me or my father. Chapter 6. The End of a Wonderful Time. February the 13th, 1932. It's time for me to finish my diary now. I stopped writing it 7 years ago, but the story of Tutankhamun's tomb didn't finish then. For 7 more years, Mr. Carter and his workers stayed in the Valley of the Kings. They found a small 4th room in the tomb. There was food and drink there. Would anyone like some 3,000-year-old bread? There were also 30 bottles of wine. There were many more beautiful treasures in the 4th room too. We have them all in the museum here in Cairo now. I'm happy to say no more workers died at the camp, and Mr. Carter is still alive and very well. The last treasure arrived at the museum 3 weeks ago, and then Mr. Carter at last left the Valley of the Kings. He's coming to our house tonight, and we're all going out to have dinner at the best restaurant in Cairo.
It's the end of a wonderful time,
my father says.
We're going to have an evening to remember.
4 of us are going to the restaurant. Mr. Carter, my father, the French artist Anne, and me. I met Anne again at the museum a year ago. She came to make some pictures of Tutankhamun's treasures. When she arrived at the museum, I remembered her at once, and she remembered me, so it was easy to begin to talk. And what happened to your old teacher, Mr. Ayrton? I asked soon after we met.
Oh, him!
said Anne, and she laughed.
What a bad man he was.
What do you mean? I asked.
He wasn't a good teacher. He was a tomb thief, only interested in getting ancient Egyptian treasures.
I looked at the Egyptian eye bracelet on her arm. Anne's eyes met my eyes.
Yes, he liked beautiful things, and in the end, I think I was only one more beautiful thing for him to look at. So I left him. I'm much happier now. I feel free without Mr. Ayrton, without his eyes watching me all the time.
Anne and I worked in one of my father's offices at the museum for some weeks, and in that time we talked about many things, often about Tutankhamun. Anne feels the boy king is her friend, and I feel I understand him very well too. My father likes Anne. He says she's a very good artist, and she loves Egypt, the ancient country and the new country too. She says she would like to live here always. Would she like to marry an Egyptian man? I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to ask her one day soon. A taxi is stopping outside our door. It's Anne and Mr. Carter. I must go downstairs and meet them. February the 14th, 1932. We all had a wonderful time last night. The food and wine were very good, and everybody talked and laughed a lot in the restaurant. Mr. Carter looks very happy, and not much older than 7 years ago. It was nice to see him again. Nobody could think that Tutankhamun's spirit is angry with him. Mr. Carter and I talked more about Kareem. Some people are saying there were dangerous bacteria inside the tomb, and these killed my friend. But why only Kareem? Other people say the ancient Egyptians put poison in the tombs to kill tomb thieves. Mr. Carter thinks these stories are wrong. He says there was nothing strange about it. One day, Kareem got dangerously ill and died before the doctor could get to the camp. My father told Mr. Carter about the new stories in the English newspapers. People in England are now afraid of having mummies and ancient Egyptian treasures in their houses. They're sending them all to the British Museum, and the museum is going to need a new room to keep all these things in. Some people think that the great Titanic accident happened because the ship had an Egyptian mummy on it. A museum in New York wanted the mummy for its Egyptian rooms, but when the Titanic went down in the Atlantic, the mummy went down with the ship. After dinner, my father asked Mr. Carter,
"Do you want to go and see the mummy? It's a new film here in Cairo, and everybody loves it. Boris Karloff is the mummy. He's a very famous film star in Cairo these days."
Mr. Carter laughed again and said,
Why not?
So he went to the cinema with my father. But Anne and I didn't want to go with them. We can't laugh about the curse of the mummy. I think the spirit of Tutankhamun doesn't do anything bad to Mr. Carter because he isn't a tomb thief. He found Tutankhamun's treasure, but he's leaving it here in Egypt. With my father's help, the Tutankhamun rooms in the Cairo Museum are now beautiful. So Tutankhamun isn't angry with my father or with Mr. Carter. But I'm not sure about Lord Carnarvon or my friend Kareem. Why did they die? And what about me and Anne? Anne and I walked slowly back to her hotel from the restaurant. The stars over Cairo were wonderful that night, and I told her how the stars were my friends in the desert.
Let's go to the museum,
She said suddenly.
You've got your key, haven't you?
Yes, of course, I answered. I always have it with me. We went there at once, and, with my key, I opened the museum door, and we went into Tutankhamun's rooms. We looked at one of the golden shrines there. On it, there's a picture of Tutankhamun and his queen, Ankhesenamun, at a table. She's putting some wine into his glass. Some women are playing music for them. It's wonderful to think this all happened thousands of years ago.
I think they were happy for a time.
Anne said.
Before Lord I came along, before their children died, and before Tutankhamun died. And perhaps they can be happy again now. Who knows?
She took my hand.
I want to leave my bracelet here, Tariq,
She said.
for Tutankhamun and Anchor Cinnamon. I don't need it now, you see. Now I have you. So I can close the door on Mr. Ayrton and on Lord I.
She took the Egyptian eye bracelet from her arm and put it down in front of the golden shrine. When she put the bracelet down, I thought I could hear faraway music and some strange and beautiful singing coming from somewhere. In my head, I closed the door on Lord Carnarvon, on my friend Kareem, and on Tutankhamun's curse, and I felt happy. Then Anne and I left the museum, arm in arm. She was free of Mr. Ayrton, and I was free of the mummy's curse at last. I smiled at Anne, and she smiled at me. We walked slowly back to her hotel and said goodbye at the door.
See you tomorrow morning,
said Anne, looking at me, with stars in her eyes. Yes, see you tomorrow morning, I answered, and I walked back home, happy and excited, dreaming of asking Anne to marry me.